The power of Kundalini awakening. In this interview with the founder of Sahaja Yoga meditation, Her Holiness Shri Mataji explains why spiritual growth in the West has been slow, highlighting conditioning, materialism, and the rise of false gurus who commercialize spirituality. She reveals that true spiritual transformation cannot be bought. It comes through self-realization and the awakening of Kundalini. Through this living process, individuals discover inner peace, vibratory awareness, and a new dimension of truth, leading to personal transformation that can ultimately bring balance and positive change to the world. Shri Mataji says that the peace has to be first of all found inside and then it manifests outside.
Shri Mataji, the West, shall we call it the Western nations, have had Sahaja Yoga available to them to investigate, to see for themselves how it worked for 20 years. And yet it has been very slow to grow. Why has it happened this way, do you think?
Here people have so many diverse ideas about things. They are very self-opinionated also about things. And the so-called man-made religions all over have also conditioned them too much. They have other conditionings of different norms that they have as far as the social life is concerned, and the physical appearances, rather on a very superficial level. So the people have not grown, I think, so much deeper. Of course, I must say there are so many seekers in the West, so many seekers. And they were lost because as soon as people knew that there's a market for them, the false gurus jumped out and they started preaching about false things just to earn money. They were all money-oriented people. Now there's another psychology with the Western mind that you must buy everything. If something is not for sale, then it is useless. And this psychology has really deterred them to come to Sahaja Yoga very much, because this is a living process and you cannot pay for it. And they couldn't bear it. I mean, actually, I must say one of the very important television gentlemen told me off that Anglo-Saxon brain cannot accept anything which cannot be sold. And I didn't know what to tell him. I just said, who has made this brain? If God has made, then why is it so?
So you have an expectation, really, that this thing called Sahaja Yoga will change the world.
Of course. It changes human beings and they manifest the change outside. And we create a new race. That's what they're talking about. If you go, they talk of new age, of a new race. But I don't know what is their imagination about it. They talk about all these things, Aquarius, and Aquarius is the Kundalini. She's placed in the Aquarius. And they talk about Aquarius age, all kinds of things. They're talking, writing, thinking about it. But when it comes to actualization, I think they think I am very too simple for them, not complicated. And Sahaja Yoga is too simple. It should be very complicated. And all their own ideas about seeking, that they must suffer, they must go to Himalayas, they must starve themselves, and then only they can get realization.
Shri Mataji, is the evolution of the planet closely related to the evolution of humanity?
Of course, it is very much related. And the planet, our planet is moving in a spiral way. All the planets are moving in a spiral way, and they are creating all possible things for the use of human beings so that they can save time for getting their ascent and for meditative growth. But people don't understand that part.
There are theories around now that the suggestions, so we say, that the planet could be a living organism, a complete entity.
Of course it is. One of the examples of this one I can give you is that if you sleep under a coconut tree, a coconut never falls on anything that is living. whether it is a human being or a snake. It never falls.
That is so, is it? All around the world, coconuts never fall on living creatures.
Yes. So they understand. We call it as Shri Phala because we think that it is like a brain which understands.
Well, if this world is a living organism, what is the brain? What drives this being, this organism? What has made it evolve the way it has?
There is this subtle power which is all pervading of God's love, which manifests all the things like living work, all nourishment, all balancing. It's so balanced. If the Pacific was slightly deeper than this, there would have been problems. If Himalaya was, say, 1.5 times than what it is, there would have been problems. So everything is so balanced in nature. And the Almighty has created only one world. Only we human beings have divided and moved like criminals with our passports in our hands.
Shri Mataji, what we have been talking about, many people would regard as a belief or a theory. How does one know the difference between truth and a belief?
First of all, anything for which you have to pay money is not the truth. You can't pay for truth. If you cancel out that, I think 99.9% all the falsehood will drop out. But truth, to be really actualized, you have to have self-realization. Then you feel on your fingertips vibratory awareness, a new dimension awareness, by which you can make out what is true and what is false. That's an absolute truth that you realize at that stage.
So one must have one's realization really to be able to tell the truth.
Even to follow anyone, one must have realization.
Shri Mataji, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shri Mother,
Russians are doing one film too.
Yeah, that's right.
Russians are doing one film.
Shri Mother, I was reading an article just now where you were talking about inner peace and outer peace. This seems to be something that attracts the attention of people in this present stressful age.
By realization, what happens as a result, you become a person endowed with thoughtless awareness. That means you see everything, you witness everything, and whenever you want to say or to think, you can see about it. But you don't react. There's no reaction. So you are empowered to see it in such a manner that there need not be any thought, just the whole creation acts on you. It's a very subtle thing. It's to be experienced. And that is the point where we realize that we are the source of peace. And that's how our inner peace is established. Now people have many foundations of peace. I have known all of them. They have no peace within themselves. Some people have got peace awards, and they are horribly hot-tempered people. But they have got peace awards, Nobel Prizes. The peace has to be first of all found inside, and then it manifests outside.
Shri Mother, another question we wanted to ask you is, because of this rather useful way you use your hands to describe the movement of the chakra when they part. I wonder if you could just explain why, when illness occurs, it occurs because of the movement away of one center from another.
All right. What I try to show them, that this is the left side, this is the right side. So this is the left sympathetic nervous system, say, and this is the right sympathetic nervous system. And really spinal cord looks like this. And inside here is the spinal cord, which has the centers in it, the subtle centers. Now, when you start using the energy of these centers, say too much on the right, and it starts moving more towards the right, and there's a constriction, and the power becomes less because you are exhausting, going more towards the right side. Suddenly something happens, and from the left, if there's a jerk, then the connection is completely broken. This is on its own, it starts working on its own. That's why we can say that this has become malignant. I have no relationship with the whole to have the proportionate growth. So if the nose starts developing, it can cover your eyes, can cover your mouth, everything. This is how a cancer is set in. Or any other disease. So many psychosomatic diseases are nothing but somatic is from the right side, and when the psyche gives in, then it becomes a psychosomatic disease. There are so many diseases which are more psychosomatic than physical, and these we call them as incurable, can be easily cured by Kundalini awakening, because when Kundalini passes through this, she just integrates them. For example, she is going like this, then she goes into this, integrates them, just like she strings them like pearls. And so they are brought down, and also she nourishes that center. That's how people get cured automatically by themselves, by their own power.